today, I'm only giving myself 30 minutes to create a viral short. That is not a lot of time. If you take into account that we have to make the script, get the AI voiceover, edit everything, put sound effects in, it's gonna be a lot of work, but we're gonna do it. Half an hour to make a viral short. I'm excited to get into this challenge. I will be uploading this to my shorts channel with 2,000 subscribers just to see if we can actually create a short that could potentially go viral in just 30 minutes. I wanna post it on this channel because we already have some growth, so this will be a good indicator on if you should really spend more time editing or if it's possible to get results in just 30 minutes. So without further ado, enough rules, enough of all that stuff. Let's get right into the challenge, starting in 3, 2, 1. So guys, I have a couple things open. Help me with the workflow. Make sure we're actually on time here. I got a Google Docs open for the script. I got 11 Labs pre-open as well and Premiere Pro, but we got to get right into this. So here's what the video is going to be. I found this online. I think it's perfect. It's this crazy looking animal. I really have never seen something like this before. So this is perfect potential for a viral video. One of the main things I look for is something that actually shocks myself. We need to write a hook. The hook is the most important part of the video. I want to do something that calls on the viewer, so we could do, "This is not what you think it is." This will help create a sense of wonder. The viewer's gonna be like, "This is not what I think it is." I'm gonna have to keep watching the video to find out what it is. My first impression when I saw that, I had no clue what it was, never seen anything like it. Use that to our advantage in this video. So we're gonna start off with, "This is not what you think it is." Yes. This crazy thing is alive. Doing another kind of hook here. Get the viewer intrigued. Yes, this crazy thing is alive. Now we're gonna actually put in some facts here, some filler lines. We're gonna say basket starfish. So this is called a basket starfish and is found in the ocean. You know, I'm not really sure exactly where it's found, but we got to put some facts in there. Now that we have the viewers' retention, we got to keep them there. I want to keep this video around 15 to 20 seconds long maybe. So we got to add some more lines to this, obviously. What would you do if you found one of these? I feel like we're missing some stuff here, guys, but can't spend too long on the script because editing might take a little while. Honestly, that might be good for now. We're gonna see how long this is when we give it to the AI voice generator. I already have a voice picked out that I wanna use.
This is not what you think it is. Yes, this crazy looking thing is...
It's only 13 seconds. I think we need a little bit more. There is not too much to the video as well, so it's kind of hard to think of things off my head right now. Okay, there we go. I think we got our script here. It should be a little bit longer and pretty comprehensive for the viewer. Gonna go ahead and download that. Heading over to Premiere Pro, I do have a project open which is gonna help me just with the sound effects. I'm gonna create a new sequence, open up my TikTok sequence. I put in my 2 assets. Let's go ahead and put in our original clip. We're gonna have to resize that up. Go ahead and scale that up to fit our screen. We're gonna get rid of all of the original audio. Let's go ahead and first work on the actual AI script, make it sound good and everything. Get rid of all of these empty spaces. It's looking like we have around 20 minutes left to edit, which is not much.
With their alien-like features such as their many appendages.
Dude, this sounds so bad. Now that I'm listening to the script, this does not sound very good, but we're gonna roll with it. I think the video can kind of carry this itself. There's actually not too much editing we have to do for this because the actual video itself is super entertaining. It's crazy looking, so we're not gonna over edit this video. We don't wanna throw our audience away from that. We wanna focus on the main subject, which is already really prominent. So now our script is good. Now we have to figure out a good way to layer this actual video together. So I think we can keep this because we want to show it just on the ground at first because people are gonna be like, "What is that? That does not look real."
This is not what you think it is. Yes, this crazy looking thing is...
We might do a zoom on that, yes.
Yes, this crazy looking thing is alive.
Okay, I think we're gonna do a quick zoom on that yes, because that's a keyword right there. I already have a preset for this, which is nice. So I can just drag and drop that on. Don't have to make all the keyframes for that. I think that looks pretty good.
Yes, this crazy looking thing is alive. This is called a basket starfish and
Okay, now we're gonna cut right here to when he's actually holding it up to the camera. I think that will look better.
It's alive. This is called a basket starfish and...
Because that really shows like it's squiggling around. Ooh, it's kind of scary looking. Now we have a good clip of it just generally on screen. Let's look for when it's moving a lot. When we're talking about like the facts of it, we'll get him like when he's moving it around a little bit.
There are many appendages.
Ooh, that's perfect. So honestly, there's not too much editing we have to do for this because, I mean, the video is speaks for itself. I thought we were gonna have to do a little bit more, but we still got captions, sound effects, everything like that. Yeah, we gotta get him throwing it back in the water. We'll get him throwing it back in the water, put that right there.
The appendages. What would you do if you found one of these?
Leaving the viewer with a call to action. What would you do if you found one of these? And throwing it back in the water. I think that's a good way to end it. So we still actually have 20 minutes to work on this thing. So first of all, let me go ahead, rewatch it, make sure all of the clips are properly fitted to where they need to be. We do have 4 cuts, so that's a decent amount. I think there really doesn't need to be much more because there's not too much movement going on throughout the video. It's pretty stagnant. It's just one subject, not too much going on throughout the entirety of the video. Honestly, this clip seems to go on for too long, so we need to do something about it.
Fiction movie with their
I think a pretty simple way to fix that is just make it zoom in a little bit with a direct hard cut.
fiction movie with their alien-like features such as their many appendages. What would you
I think that actually helped make it look a lot better. Just more movement. We don't want to make the viewer bored because, you know, attention spans these days. Gotta make sure there's always something going on. People are gonna scroll right off of it, and retention is super important on shorts. So we're sitting at 15 seconds pretty much exactly, which is kind of what I was aiming for. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and layer in some sound effects. We might use this impact sound effect for the zoom in. We're definitely gonna have to turn that way down though. I don't know if this fits here.
It is, yes.
Actually, I think it does. I think we can make this work. We just gotta turn it way down. Ease in the sound effect with this cool thing right here. I think that's pretty good.
Crazy.
And we can obviously cut that off, and then we'll do a little fade at the end as well. What else we got? We got this camera shutter. We're definitely gonna need this because it's helpful on hard cuts. When the scene changes, it's missing a sound effect. This can help a lot. Let's turn it down a little bit
This is called a
because kind of like you're switching frames, you know? Perfect for that. We're gonna actually put that right here as well.
the ocean. These things look
You know, we might just copy and paste this for the rest of the hard cuts because that's all we have in here. Not too many keyframes with motion. We're gonna paste those all in here.
they're alien.
Now I do want to choose a different sound effect for this one, and I also do want a sound effect of it hitting the water, so we're gonna look for one of those. We have about 16 minutes left right now, so good on time so far, but oh, perfect sound effect, this wee sound effect. I didn't even realize we could use this. This is actually perfect, because he's flying in the air, you know? Gotta turn that way down though.
What would you do if you found one of these?
Now we need to find, I want to look for like a boom hit sound effect. I think Pixabay is a pretty good website for finding free sound effects. You know, let's just use this one. We're gonna make it really intense at the end for no reason. So let's drag in this sound effect, layer it below. We're definitely gonna have to turn this way down. Also need to add another audio track for the splash sound effect. We're gonna evoke some emotion with this sound effect.
Appendages. What would you
We're gonna use this one instead.
appendages? What would you do?
Now we need the water splashing sound effect. That's a pretty good one. Maybe it's a little intense, but we're making this last scene intense. As long as we turn it down, it should sound better.
Do if you found one of these?
I do also need to add another audio track for the actual music, but I want to get to captions right now actually, so we're gonna go ahead and mute all of the sound effects and then head over to the text panel. We need to transcribe all of the AI voice narration. We need to make sure it looks all right. We need an exclamation point right here. So now we're gonna create the captions. We still have over 10 minutes left, so might as well make these things look good. For shorter videos, I like to have faster paced captions. So I have less characters in the captions for a shorter paced video, but that's just personal preference. So maybe we'll go with like 12, obviously single. We're just gonna play this and see how it looks.
This is not what you think it is.
I'm gonna split up this is. I think it will just look better at the start. We want it to be fast paced. The viewer will be grabbed in.
This is not what you think it is. Yep.
Oh yeah, we need to split that up. Definitely, you cannot have a whole new line on the same one. So fix that easy. We definitely need an exclamation point on alive. We're really emphasizing that. So honestly, the captions turn out pretty good for the auto captions. Sometimes you need to do a lot more editing with those, but they're not too bad. We're gonna apply the font, everything like that to make them look a lot better. So we're gonna head over to properties. I'm not sure what font I wanna use. I've been using the same font over and over, but kinda wanna try something different. Let's try Open Sans.
It's called Basket Starfish Ending.
Honestly, this one fits the theme of this video because it's more of an educational type video. So we're gonna go with this one because it looks a little more professional, you could say, not like super cartoony. Should we add a stroke? I always like to add a thin stroke usually. So we'll go like 2 pixels. We definitely need to make the captions bigger though. So let's try 65. 65 looks pretty good. Let's try like 70. Maybe we'll do 70 with the 3 pixel stroke. That looks pretty good. We already have the shadow in there as well, so we're gonna stick with that. I can always make it smaller if I want to. I think I'm gonna make them smaller once we apply all the effects to the captions, such as the pop-in effects. I like to put a lot of movement on the captions. It just makes it look more dynamic. The viewer will hopefully be more engaged from the keyframes on the captions. They'll be looking at them. I think it just helps with retention a lot. So I have these effects already made. Remember, you can get all of these effects for free and how I make all of my shorts. Check out my free YouTube Shorts course where I teach you guys everything from video creation to how to create your channel, how to scale it, literally everything. There's over 2 hours worth of content in there, all for free. Go check it out below. Also, if you want to join my free creator community, I'm going to be posting more free courses soon, specifically a gaming channel guide in the near future. So like I mentioned, all of the Premiere Pro assets that I use are included for free in that course. First, I have to upgrade the captions to the graphics. Next, we're going to add the text pop in. Head over to the effects panel, go 2 frames out. The first keyframe already hits on 2 frames out, so that's good. 1, 2, third one also hits. So we're going to go ahead and copy this transform, put it onto all of the other captions.
This is not what...
And overall, that just looks pretty smooth, honestly. I made sure that one looked as smooth as possible when I created it, so I can put it on all my captions with ease. So now I'm gonna go ahead and nest this, just so it's all together now. I might put on the wave warp preset. Yeah, that's just a subtle touch that I like as well. That's also included. Let's try the caption motion.
Crazy looking thing is alive.
We'll keep the caption motion. We might as well. Just make it more dynamic. Nest that one last time. I'm gonna scale this down to 90. 95. 95 looks good. We'll put that almost in the line of the side of the viewer because we want them to be pretty visible, but we don't want it to be hidden by any of the stuff that YouTube puts in YouTube Shorts, like the captions, stuff like that. So I usually found that just below the center works pretty good for captions. It helps if it's somewhat in the line of sight of the viewer, but it's not covering up the entire main subject of the video because that can be very annoying, especially if you want to just watch the video. So overall, this is looking pretty good. We have about 6 minutes left. We got to see if there's any other changes we want to make. I do need to find a background song as well. Head over to Pixabay again. Let's do like scary. Do we want to go for a scary vibe? I don't know. This might be perfect, honestly. The vibe of this one is really good because it kind of mixes scary and funny as in the name, but kind of like a curious vibe to it. So we're gonna do this one. The kind of vibe I like when I'm making my shorts. So we're gonna go ahead and drag this in. Definitely gonna have to turn this way down. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the captions, but I feel like it's far too late to go back and redo them. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish everything up here. Gotta make sure we unmute all the sound effects because I wanna go back, watch this whole thing with all the sound effects, make sure it looks good. I think I used too many of these sound effects in a row, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. We gotta put something else there. Let's go look for a new sound effect. Let's do a click, a mouse click. We'll do the mouse click. That's a classic one, the mouse click. We gotta put that in there. Make sure it lines up, turn it down. That looks pretty good to me. I think the short is done. Obviously, we didn't have to do too much to it. Kind of in the video itself, it's pretty entertaining, you know? Crazy subject. I think it's gonna draw some attention to the viewers. So I'll let this run for 1 to 2 days. I'll show you guys the results, of course. Hopefully it's gonna be a viral short. I haven't posted on this channel in a while. We need a new spark, some new light to this channel. We ended up finishing 2 minutes early, so I'll take it.
This is not what you think it is. Yes, this crazy looking thing is alive. This is called a basket starfish and is found in the ocean. These things look straight out of a science fiction movie with their alien-like features such as their many appendages. What would you do if you found one of these?
It's now been about 2 days since I posted the short, and I have some results for you guys. So we're sitting at about 12,400 views. And this is very interesting to me actually because 11,000 of these views came in about the first hour of posting. So an instant surge, which was kind of weird. Also a very low like ratio. I haven't seen it that low in a long time. I think because I kind of switched up the niche of my channel there. I was posting cat videos for a while, switched up, posted that video. So that could have something to do with it. Not an overall huge success, but by far my best performing video on that channel within the first couple hours, 11,000 views. I don't think I've seen that on the channel before. It also had a pretty good stay to watch ratio, not too bad, sitting in the mid 70s. And the view duration was not the best, I will admit, for a pretty short, only 15 seconds. We had about 83% retention, which obviously is not going to create huge numbers. That's the end of the video, guys. Who knows, maybe this short will take off later on. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye, guys.